Good morning, everyone. So let me try this for the third time. I rebooted the computer because it was being real slow, and then the second recording, I had a YouTube video playing in the background when I was reviewing the video. Was like, what the heck? So, anyways, this video is about you've got your new computer for you got your new computer for Christmas. Sorry, and you've uploaded everything and got it all set up, and you decided that maybe you want your spouse, significant other, or even the kids to have access to the computer under their own account. That way they're not messing up your stuff. So the way to do that is you click on your start button. We'll let that load up here, and you go into the settings, which is the gear, and go into accounts. And what you'll want to do is go into family and other users. Now, when you do this, it wants to create a Microsoft account. And I've said this a million times, don't do Microsoft accounts. So you're going to click on this, and it's going to bring up this Microsoft account thing. You're going to click, I don't have this other person's sign-in information. Even if you've got a Microsoft email account, such as Outlook or Hotmail or whatever, do this, trust me, especially if it's for the kids. It'll be a lot easier. So you don't have this information. It's going to go to the next thing. You're going to create it. You're going to add a user without a Microsoft account. In this case, we're going to call it the kids, because probably, especially if you have all the younger kids and they're doing online schooling, probably just one account would work. Although if you do need to do separate accounts, you can call it, Jimmy and Elizabeth and so on and so forth. But the kids, this is a good option. So, and you create next, and it creates a local account here. Now, something I want to show you is, for the younger kids, it might be good to keep them as a standard user. This way they don't go and download stuff they don't need, or accidentally download a virus or stuff like this, because it requires an administrator's approval. So that means you have to hover around, so if they had like, mom, dad, I need this, you would have to go over there and click a button to approve it. But if you got older kids and you trust them, you might want to bump them up to administrator. That way they can do what they need to do. Now, I'm not sure how the school districts all work. I know they're all using Chromebooks, and everyone's got their own Chromebooks, except for certain grades. I think like in Clyde, who are doing online schooling or homeschooling, however it's done, third grade and below doesn't have one, so the parents are having to supply their own computers for those online classes. Most of us have laptops or desktops, but if this is the new one, you want the kids to have access to it. Like I said, this is what you do. If you got younger kids, like I said, keep them under standard user so you have control over it. If you got older kids or a spouse, put them under administrative. The only thing you have to remember is, with administrative privileges, they all have the same privileges as you, as in adding and changing and manipulating the computer. So again, kind of judge it for yourself, but that's how you do it. And if you make them an administrator, it shows up here. So once you've created the account, that's not all. Now at this point, what you would have to do, and this is a virtual machine, it's going to work a little bit differently, but on a real computer, on your keyboard, you would press Control Alt and Delete. On a virtual machine, I have to do this, which is the same thing. It's to send the Control Alt Delete. And what that does is it takes you over to this screen. And then you're going to sign out of your account. It'll take you back to the login screen. When you click it, of course, you're the primary user there, but over here you'll see the kids' account. The kids' account, the first time you're setting up any additional account, it has to be set up. So you would click it and sign in, and it's going to go through the whole process of setting up their account. It's going to look like it's doing a Microsoft account. Yeah, hi Microsoft. And it's saying getting everything ready for you. Basically, it's taking the software that's from the main account and duplicating it over to the kids' account, or the other account. So if you have Office, you have QuickBooks, and so on and so forth, make sure your QuickBooks has got a password on it so you don't have to worry about it. But that's what it's doing. It's taking those programs and putting it over there. This is just your default privacy settings. You can, change them as you will. And here you go. Of course, on the new account, Edge is set as your default, but you do have, because the primary account had Firefox and Google Chrome installed and LibreOffice there, so on and so forth. So if the kids are working on a project, remember LibreOffice is 100% compatible with Microsoft Office. Of course, the kids are probably using Google accounts, so they'll probably be using Google Chrome and Google Drive. But, here's the thing. We can go in here and we can create it. We'll just type up some garbage. But the kids have walked away. Say they had to go somewhere, use the restroom, get something to eat, go do a chore, and they've left their computer up or their account up, and you see this. So you could either save it for them. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're a parent. This way, if you save it, it's going to save it by default in the documents folder, their document folder, not yours. However, if it's maybe, or if you just need to jump on there real quick, instead of signing out, again, doing Control-Alt-Delete, you do Control-Alt-Delete on your computer. This is the physical keys on the keyboard, Control-Alt and Delete. On a virtual machine, I have to do it this way. You can't switch users. So you can have multiple active accounts on a single computer at the same time. And this is going to sign me back over to the studio account, which you're all familiar with. And here it is. And so I can go and do what I need to do, whether check my email real quick, look at a file real quick, and then when I'm done, I can do Control-Alt-Delete. And this is a habit that everyone in a household should get in the habit of doing, is doing that Control-Alt-Delete and coming to this screen and signing out. And then, you come back to the login screen, and if you sign in back as the kids, their stuff is still there. So that's the joy of that. Yeah, Microsoft, we know. So, all of their stuff is still there, whatever they were currently working on, if you didn't save it for them already. Complete setup. No, I don't want to do that. Go away. So, yeah, that's how you do that with multiple accounts. Now, let's say you've done this for a few months, it's driving you insane, so you go out and buy another computer in a couple of months because, the kids are always on it for school and you need it for work, and scheduling time for everyone to use the same computer can sometimes be problematic. Like I said, not going to be so much of an issue for school districts that provide Chromebooks for the students, but for the younger kids, where they don't get the Chromebooks, you'll have to do this. So you go out and get a relatively inexpensive refurbished laptop for them. What you would want to do then is bring the computer and the new computer to me, and I can take this information, which is basically everything that is in their folders, pull it off your computer and put it onto theirs. I can't do anything about the software. I've mentioned that in previous videos that software transfers just don't work. But I can personally, I can copy over their personal files. So if they've got, they're working on an essay for English and a report for history and a science project, I can make sure those files get transferred to the new computer, and it's not a problem. This way, then they can have their computer. It's just a matter of setting it up and doing the same thing like we kind of did here, and then they should be able to get into their account. So we're going to close this, and once the account is transferred over, then what I can do is almost hit the Control-Alt-Delete on my keyboard because I'm so used to doing it. We can sign out of the kids' account. And this is how simple this is. I'm going to go back into the studio account. Let this load up. And then you can go back into the gear, settings, accounts, further, kids, and you can remove their account, delete their account. And if you want to keep their personal information, you can. However, if I've already transferred it from one computer to another, you could do this, and most likely that's what I will do for you automatically. You delete the account. The account goes away. See, it's now removed. And we'll validate that here with a Control-Alt-Delete so you can see. And we're going to switch users, even though we're not really switching users. And see, now this is the only account that's here. So that's how you do multiple accounts on the same computers. It may be helpful for you if you've got a new computer for Christmas, setting up multiple accounts on there. This way, you know, your spouse or significant other can do their thing without impacting your files, and same with the kids for school, so they're not impacting your files. Just a note, Windows 10, I believe, can hold 10 local accounts per computer. So yeah, but if you got 10 people using the computer, scheduling, obviously, it might be at that point you need to go get another computer, especially if you're doing it for schooling. If you've got multiple kids in the same school district, in multiple grades, I've seen this already in Clyde already, where, you know, you got a third grader and a first grader, and their teachers are on at the same time, and if you only got one computer, then you have to make that decision of which child attends class, and which child is going to be marked absent. And so I tell people, you know, go get the other computer. Sometimes I have them here cheap, sometimes I don't. You can get them at Cashland also. I think Fremont usually carries them. If you get one at Cashland or from some other place, bring it to me first. Let me look at it, make sure it's all set up and ready to go, because I've seen stuff come from there that was not completely set up, and I had to finish it up, or the people there are not IT professionals. They're just regular people who go in and do a reset, and sometimes they miss things. So definitely, if you buy one from, you know, a pawn shop or something, definitely bring it to me and have me take a look. So, but that's how you do multiple accounts on the same computer. Like I said, it's going to be beneficial really for the parents with their kids in younger grades where they don't get the Chromebooks. But that's how you do that. Not too hard, not too complex, but if you do need help, give us a call, schedule a time. You can either bring it in and I can set it up, or I can come to you and set it up, provided we're not under a lockdown. Or even then, I could probably do a remote and help you set it up. So, but yeah, give us a call. We'll set you up. If you found this video useful, like, share, and subscribe with your friends. Don't forget to, like I said, hit that bell button, that bell down there, or the subscribe button if it's there. If you don't have a Google account, you can find us over on Facebook. There is a donation link in the bottom, because YouTube does not pay me for these videos. So I'm not that big and popular yet. So that's why I said like, share, and subscribe. That way I can get those numbers up and I can get a little bit of money from YouTube out of this. So anyways, you guys have a great day. Talk to you later.